welcome again. It's been a while and I'm talking today about something really important for students. I want to get into a discussion for 10 minutes about how we as international students get so much pressure from every single thing that we have to go through while we're studying, looking for jobs, and this is going to be a 10-minute discussion about certain topics that makes us amazing people, because we definitely have to go through so much while we're studying our careers and living in a country with a different language, different culture, and we all know how it feels to be away from family, away from what we like. But anyway, we're going through this period of life in which we have the most potential, and this is also going to help us to reach that full potential. And meanwhile, we're going to have fun. That's what we came for. If you don't know me from my previous videos, I'm Miguel. I'm an international student in Australia, and I have been dealing with a lot of mixing my schedules from work and from studying. Now I'm studying film and media, so that's why I'm doing my YouTube channel. And first of all, I want to talk to you about being a student in Australia. Here, prices are really high on rent, and it was a really difficult time for me when I came first to Sydney specifically, because such cities like Gold Coast and Adelaide, for example, here in Australia are way cheaper, and it's really hard to find something here. And so I basically had a problem finding a place because I couldn't find anything on the rental market. Everything was just completely saturated and has been incredibly insane. So the affordability issues was something, of course, really hard, but then the way that you get your place, you never know if you're gonna get it. So for example, I was happy that I found this beautiful apartment in the middle of the city, with really close to town, to my school. And then the apartment became unstable because someone left the room. So this takes you out of your comfort zone, because then if someone leaves, then the landlord can't pay the rent, so they have to give away the apartment, and it's just insane. They basically sometimes can tell you, sorry, you have to find somewhere else. And for me, finding something else was not a choice, because I felt like I really wanted to stay, and I felt so comfy. I love this apartment so much, but I had no affordability issues back then, but it's definitely hard if you can't afford a rent of at least $350, $400 a week, because it's going to be less in, for example, Gold Coast. It will be half of that, for example. So that's one of the things, and the way I dealt with it's just make sure that my landlord trusts me, and I communicated with her that I really wanted to keep this place, and I just posted an ad on Facebook or Flatmates. I took really pretty pictures with my phone. If you don't have a phone, just tell someone to give a really nice shot from your room or something, from the apartment itself, and I posted it, and someone came, and at the last minute it was done. So you gotta take action for the troubles you have, and I took the action. I didn't let the things take advantage and become a bigger problem. So you gotta go fast before the problem eats you up more. And in this case, rent is covered, everyone is in the apartment, so this was a big thing. Just keep your place. This is the first and one of the most important things. The place where you live, it's your sanctuary. Keep your sanctuary, and make sure that you pick the right place. Now, another thing that it's really hard for students in Australia is that we have limited working hours, which means that we cannot work more than 24 hours per week. And if a job hires you and you have lots of work in that specific role, like if they need someone that needs to cover more than 40 hours, you can get the job. So this can be also tricky because of what we previously talked, to cover the rent and cover all the costs of a city. I would say at least you would need $1,000, and $1,000 in Sydney is pretty standard, like to cover food, meals, partying sometimes, like, you know, we all do, and also try to pay your rent on time. Like, the rent is number one. I don't know why it started with food. I mean, I'm a junkie with food, so I love it. But rent first, remember. And I think it was like, yeah, it's a process of getting, sometimes you have to get 2 different jobs, sometimes you need, I mean, I'm not supporting any illegal activity, so you definitely shouldn't go under the table. But yeah, there is other type of jobs that accept ABM, like for example Uber Eats will allow you to work as much as you need, but you need an Australian business number, which means that you basically are your own business, so you can work all the hours, but it's a hard job. Also, you need a motorbike, so you gotta think about these things. And in my case, I am freelancer, so I do jobs with my own Australian business number, and I pay my own GST. So it's all about networking and finding my clients. Also, I had before I had a casual job as a barista, and I was making coffee, and I love coffee shops. I love the way they look like. They all look like this very modern, and you know, this kind of cafe ambience I really love, and all the music and the jazz they put in, it just fits my style and I really love it. So that is one of the things I love, to find something I like. But if you don't find something in your area, like being a barista doesn't fit in media at all, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and that's where I'm going to. So when you wanna find work in your area, I believe that the most you can do is get your word out there in the Facebook groups and throw out a bunch of messages saying you will actually do some of work for free. Collaborating, it's called. As a more professional way, just to say like giving away work for free. And I think collaborating, it's part of, you know, like I was watching this film, and this is not collaborating at all, it's a real job, but like cheerleaders in America, the cowboy girls, you know, the cowboy cheerleaders from the Texas group, the rugby or American football, I don't really know, I just watched a bit of it. They do these jobs for really low wages, but they do all this for the glory and the experience to do it, dancing on that level, on such an elite level. And for me also, film and media, it's not that you cannot get great paid jobs, but it's how you start, you know. You do it for the glory of it. Actually, it sounds really cliche, but it's so fun for me, setting up equipment, touching cameras, everything is just like so fun, and it comes natural. It's not like, oh, I'm checking the time every 2 minutes, when am I gonna have to go? And no, this is just absorbs me. So if you can throw your word out there and you find some 3 or 2 jobs you can do for free, and then later on set up some very reasonable prices, I think that would be really good for you to start. As well as, well, there is Facebook, there is LinkedIn as well. You can do a more professional types of websites, but I definitely recommend Facebook at the beginning, because that's where everyone is, and you just like have to throw your words that there is a barbershop that's like new in town and they need a new you know, style for their brand, and yeah, you need to do all the video stuff and make sure you're prepared as well with your own equipment. But yeah, anyway, that's it, like making sure you throw your word. And if you want to work in your area, meanwhile you have something else to cover, because you need to make sure you're not just working for free everywhere and like, oh no, rent day, yeah, you know. So yeah, maybe find a job with like hospitality first, and then keep moving on, looking for jobs like this. And yep, pretty much what I'm doing right now. So I believe that it's worth talking about this point, which is work and study life. So of course, you know, you're studying, you're with a visa, you need to keep your visa, you cannot just work. Some people come here and they do it, and no shade, but you know, that's not what we came for. At least if I'm doing something for myself, like I want to make sure my proficiency it's 100%, I'm not a 50%, because people like me cannot give 100. They need to be actually giving 150%. There needs to be a 50% more, because we need to be recognized as skilled people, filmmakers. So for me, I feel like always, if I'm 100%, I want to be a bit more, just to make sure. And it's not that I'm a perfectionist, it's just that's like giving the extra mile. That exactly is the meaning of it. Like giving the extra mile is that you actually make sure you give your best, like in a photo shoot, and then offer something else. Even though I don't need to make a video for them, I just give them 150 photos and a small video or stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, I was a little bit distracted of the main topic, which is like balancing financial work and study. You always need to, you know, give the extra mile by being there in every assessment, go to school every day. If you can not do it because you definitely have some commitment, you should not. Of course, you need to try to plan, but balancing work and study, it's so simple. It's just taking it into account which times are you studying and which times you work, because like most people study in the morning and then you will work at night. But in my case, I study just 2 days a week, so I could work weekends, I could work Monday, Tuesday, I just study Wednesday and Thursday, so everything else is fine. You find the balance and you see which times you feel better, like you're more like a night person working in a bar, or you're more like a barista person, like you're so awake at 6 a.m. in the morning. Oh, God bless, you know, I can't. But sometimes, you know what, it's better for you, like which times are better for you, and the pressure goes less. And yep, you find the work and study balance and make sure you complete the assessments and all of that, so it's less pressure in the end. Okay, and now the next point, it's if you need to actually I'll tell you a personal story. You really need to make sure you know you're on top of your study units, outlines, you know, your assessment, all the requirements of that trimester. Everything is so important, because sometimes we're stuck at our jobs, right? And sometimes we think, oh yeah, I'm gonna make so much money for this, like I was saying about the work balance, study balance thing. And it's actually so important to keep track of everything, because you, for example, I do have assessments not every week, but there is a week in which all the assessments are due. So one of those weeks, last week or 2 weeks ago, I got my pitch week, like which I had to do a pitch for every single class, I think. And that week was just like doing 4 pitches, and I missed one of them actually for one class, and it was just because I didn't read one of the subjects. I didn't read the outline properly, so I basically screw it. Sorry for the word, but that's so bad. I mean, arriving in class when everyone's ready to present in a dark room with a projector there, like looking at yourself like, what the hell is happening? Why do not I know there was a presentation? Is the worst thing that you can ever experience. And yeah, I got away with it. Don't even ask me how. I pretended I had an emergency and I literally left the room like I was crazy. And yeah, it was pretty sad. And yeah, I made it and I presented the next week. I think I didn't have the grade I wanted because I presented a bit late, but one of the mistakes to learn about. Make sure you know you're on top of all the outline of each assessment, and make the assessments with love of what you're studying, because you want to show them that you're gonna be showing that excitement in the industry, not just in the studies. You're gonna be like if you were working. So each assignment, I take it now super seriously, and I make sure I check every single subject. Don't let one even go, like I did. So now I want to talk about how important it is to build networks in order to, you know, succeed in the industry, because this industry, it's all about word of mouth as well. You get jobs through people you know, and that's all the connection thing that you have to do. So first of all, first I'm gonna talk about two things in this point of networking. There is a friends thing, that it's like your support network, that you should have like a related kind of group of friends with the area that you like, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, my friends have to be filmmakers. No, but you definitely should have some that, you know, can be friends in like, you know, that you go out with and you have fun, but also are filmmakers and you can do projects together, so it's pretty fun. You know, you make like their kind of a associate kind of relationship. And then you have your professional clients, which is the network of people that you're also friendly with, but you're a bit more interested in, you know, the money, honey. And so you like need that network of clients, and that's what you're gonna build through, you know, going out there and putting your work out there. But the friends thing, I feel like it's more like with networking events. So you got some events such as meetups, like in the app. There is an app called Meetup. I think I talked about it in another video, but it's so good because it tells you all the events that are available, my English, sorry, available that week on that area. So available events for film, for arts, and meetups, like little convention about that topic. So yeah, you make friends there for sure, because you're guys talking about things that you love, and sometimes they give you drinks, and sometimes it's like in a very chill environment, sometimes it's a bit more like in a cafe, sometimes it's like in a pub. I went to 2 or 3, it's really cool, and you do meet people to network with. And yeah, I feel it's all about, you know, also the challenges to get out there of your social circle. Sometimes it can be a little bit, you know, like sometimes you're like, I don't need new friends, like I'm cool with my group of friends, why would I like, but we all need that. So to finish, I want to talk about how important it is to keep your mental health and live as practical as you can. So I want to show how, I want to actually tell you how I deal with all my anxiety. I have a crazy anxiety, and I do have lots of problems of focusing when I do have it, and there is no shame for that. Everybody has everything, something that has them stuck for some time, and I feel this is so natural. So there is finally, you know, people that are speaking through, and you don't need a psychiatry or a psychologist usually to deal with those things as an expensive therapy or something. For me, the most amazing things since these 2 months have been so high pressure about like all the things that I talked to you about in the past points. I experienced them. It's just been like victories, small victories. Seeing those small victories, I literally got locked out of my room and I opened it with a credit card. That was like a small victory for me. And I felt so badass because I felt like, oh, I don't know, it's like the smallest thing ever. So then we go to a bigger thing, like I go to the gym every 5 days a week. So I could like say, oh yes, this week I made like 5 days. So it's so important for me to keep your physical health and serotonin. You'll know all the chemicals that we need to keep like feeling like bosses. And for me, that's gives me a lot of power for also put up my voice in you know, a tone we like. It's like when you're feeling weak, you feel like your voice is so tiny and you don't want to do things and experience things, but we need to experience things and we need to feel like bosses, you know? So the more we feel like this, the more things happen to you in life. And I feel like that would be a law that I discovered. So yeah, that's with the gym. I do yoga sometimes, also trying to have like a blog or something, like right now literally, or like a writing blog. Feel like you can make sure you make sense of things that you probably can't if you're just wondering about it. But if someone at school or someone like made me so angry, yeah, you know, you can write it out down. Or if someone at work has me like insane, you just write it and just, yeah, don't punch them. So they will sue you. Stay away from aggression. I recommend. I'm a pacifist, so I just meditate, have my control of my emotions on top with the gym and healthy diet as well, but I'm not a dietitian, I'm not gonna talk about it. Yeah, sorry, it's not my area. I love cameras, we'll talk about them later. And yeah, I feel like this is just the basics, like the gym, the physical health, and that's all we need. Definitely it's so important to keep your mental health. So thank you for watching this video this time. I hope you all have a great day and I'll see you the next time.